This self-film tip is brought to you by Benchmade's Hunt lineup of knives.
Hey, I'm Forrest from SELFILMED.com. Today we're going to make a how-to video on mounting a turkey fan using borax, doing a leg mount, and preserving your beard so these mounts will last the rest of your life. There's multiple ways you can do this, but the way we're going to do it today, all you need is borax, a knife, some push pins, and a piece of cardboard, and you'll be able to make your mount ready to put on a wood board or a shadow box or anything that you desire to do to mount in your house. Let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, this thing's got a double beard, so you need to be kind of careful on these double beard birds. I actually like to pluck the feathers off in between the two beards because you're going to need that skin in between them to dry to actually hold the two beards together as one. Once you get it plucked clean, just take your knife. I'm just gonna come right here and just slice it off like that. Now basically I've trimmed all the excess from the two beards, and you can see right here, all that's connecting the two is skin. What we'll do next is take some borax. You just wanna work it in to the flesh. Make sure that you cover every bit of exposed skin here, because this borax will just act as a drying agent to pull out all the moisture. Now, one thing that I've started doing in recent years is I will take the beards and stand them upright like this, drop borax in the beard like this, and then spread a little bit more. And I just think this will help the borax get to the base of the fibers of the beard. So that's how you do the beard. Let's go to the tail fan. Tail fan's a little more complex. You're just gonna turn it over, butt side down to start with. And this is butt side, this is back side, front side, which would be his back. So turn it butt side down. You know, come in here, and you can kind of use your fingers to kind of pry the skin away from the meat. And then you just want to get in here and essentially just skin it. When you're cutting into this, you're going to start running into quill tips. That's perfectly fine. We need to cut all the way down to the quills, but you don't want to harm the quills. Basically, we're going to remove all the meat and all the fat from these quill bases, leaving the quills held together with nothing more than the skin. The tailbone's right here, so you're going to have to cut through it. So you have to use a little force there. And you can actually just separate it completely, notch it out completely. Once you get that side done, you want to flip it over on the back. Do the same thing, cut all the way down to the quills. So basically you can see here, we've got it roughed out for the most part. There's still a little bit of meat, and I'll take the time to get it trimmed off here with the knife before we start adding borax to it. But that, as you can see, that there's pretty much nothing meat-wise or fat-wise holding these quills together. Even the secondaries and tertiary feathers here on the back to the tail feathers themselves, you can actually see you cut down in between the secondaries and the primary tail feathers and get all that fat out and meat. I'll just clean this up a little more. Okay, we're sitting pretty good right now. We're getting all the meat off. Next thing we want to do is right here, there's a gland. And we need to cut this gland out. I'm not exactly sure what the scientific name of this gland is, but it's what the turkeys use to kind of pull oil out to oil their feathers. You can actually see that right there is the mouth of the gland. So you want to get that out of there because that will never dry. And right there it is. Okay, now we're good. Now it's time to start adding some borax. You want to add pretty liberally, and you're just going to start working it in. And as you can see, the more you work this stuff in, it kind of disappears. It kind of works down into the fat and the meat that's left, and it kind of reveals to you more fat and meat. So you want to keep working this stuff out until you don't see any of that. Flip it over, do the same. Okay. We're ready to fold him out and pin him down now. Okay, I went and dumped this off. Actually, Calvin did for me. So now I'm going to take it and you want to flip it down. You want to make sure that these feathers are perfectly pulled down. So you're going to take the end of the feathers that you left here and you're going to pull those down. So when you fold him over, his back feathers are going to dry perfectly like that. You're going to take a pin, and I run it literally right through the center of the quill. And you kind of want to just do it on a solid plane here, so 180 degrees, run it right through the center of the quill. And that's not going to affect the mount negatively. Okay, and then you just want to start going. Once you get it spread out, he had actually lost one of his primary feathers in transportation or whatnot, and I couldn't find the exact quill pocket that it went in, but I just stuck it into some of that fleshy quill base there, and that should be plenty enough to hold it. So you just want to get them lined up good. Stick one right through the center of the vertical, and then just make sure your fan's equally spaced out all the way across, and just go and pin. Now we want to do the legs. I like to just cut the spur off. We're not going to do that today. Calvin actually wants to leave his legs, kind of curl them up like that, because he wants to do a fan, feet, and beard mount. That way he can kind of show off the double bearded beard a little better. So at this point, there's no big science here. We're just going to trim up these ligaments and stuff that are hanging out of this foot. And we're just going to pack these stuff with borax. It's nice having a good sharp knife when you're doing this stuff, especially on the legs because they're so tough. Just put a little borax in there. Pack it in good. Because ultimately, these turkey feet will dry fine without having to clean the marrow out or anything like that. It's a little different than your than your tail fan and your beard, because all that holds these quills in and this beard together is flesh. There's a lot of things holding this leg together, so if you leave a little stuff in there, it's not gonna be an end all. So basically now, we just wanna set them up. It'll be fine to lay them right there. Just make sure that when you set this up, you've got a nice curl to the toes, because that's exactly how it'll be in about a month. For more how-to videos and gear reviews, visit our website or our Facebook page at facebook.com/selffilmed.